Hello everyone. Today we're going to have a look and see what's happening during the Fringe in the new town. How are you all? Hope you're all happy and healthy and well. Yeah, today it's one of the bits that I personally overlook when it comes to the Fringe in town. I tend to not have a look and see what's going on in the new town. And there's just as much, well maybe not just as much, but there's definitely stuff going on in the new town. And you want to pull yourself down this way, because if you get fed up of the crowds in the old town, in the Royal Mile and the Grass Market and things, half a mile away, not even half a mile away, you start to get rid of the crowds. We're not quite Newtown-ish, but I thought we'd start here. I know we covered it a little bit in the live last week, but I don't want to miss it out. So we're here, there's Festival Square, and the Ladyboys of Bangkok. And in true Fringe weather, it's raining now, but there's not much I can do about that. So, here is the Usher Hall, and you can see it's got the Edinburgh International Festival in it. Up there is the Lyceum Theatre, which also has the International Festival in it. Oh, the rain is dreek and drizzly, and I noticed here as well, and you'll see these about town a lot, venue numbers for the Fringe. And I love this, because anything can become a venue. And you can see here, that's a pub with a venue number up against it. See that up there? There we go, venue 555 is a pub, so that'll have shows in it as well, so keep your eye out for them. It's always worth, especially if you see somewhere that's unique, that you wouldn't expect to be a venue, it's worth having a look just to see what's on. Something different. And look at this, the sun is out, but the rain is coming down. Okay, so what we're going to do is, Ladyboys sounds like they've got a show on right now, I can hear it. There's the Usher. Traverse is around the corner as well, which always has things on for the festival in one way or another, so it's a good area to come to and kind of start us off. But what we're going to do is we're going to head down towards the new town. We'll go along George Street and we'll come back along Rose Street, because I really just want to look at what would be classed as the original new town to see what's going on. We could go right down to Leith and Stockbridge and all these places, and they would all have things on as well. Not as much, nowhere near as much, but they would have things on. It looks like here, the kirkyard here and the church in there, just at the end of Kingstable Road, as we head down, is a venue as well. So you can see, keep your eye out for these, because you see that and it leads into a graveyard, so you never know what could become a venue for a show. Next up, here at the start of Princes Street, this is here every year as well, and you get a lot of good things in here. The West End Fair, here at St John's, and I won't climb in because I don't want to have a look too much, but you can see, look at all these stalls of craft goods, and it goes right around there and up there. I've had friends who have ran stalls in here who've got some good products, and I'm not just saying that, they do have some good products. It's worth a visit. It's definitely worth coming down and having a look at these if you want to find something unique to take home that you're not going to find in just, and I hate to say it, but a tacky gift shop, you know what I mean? Find something unique. And even this area becomes a venue. Anything can be a venue. So here we are hitting Johnnie Walker Princes Street, and I know I've said it the last 2 weeks, but I don't want you to miss out. Remember that we have an exclusive Broonford discount for Johnnie Walker Princes Street. It's not just a shop. Remember, all of these are tours and a rooftop bar and all these things as well. And the Journey of Flavour tour, which is their main whiskey tour, which lasts about an hour and a half, we have a Broonford exclusive for 20% off. So if you book online and use the code Broonford20 and you use that code all August, it will give you 20% off the price of the tour. So please don't forget to use it. And speaking of which, by the way, around the side here is where you get into all the tours and things. They're a venue as well, because they have an event space as well. Looks like they have a Pick of the Fringe show, which has different acts on every night. Here we are at Charlotte Square, and to tell you the truth, I can't see a lot of festival stuff going on here. In fairness, you know, the First Minister lives over there, so they might not be too keen. I don't know, maybe just these are all people's houses and offices and things, so there might just not be any space. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk along George Street, see what's becoming a venue, see what's going on down there, and then we're going to come back along Rose Street. George Street. Let's see what's happening. To be honest, I don't. You can see the difference here already from the Royal Mile. So if you definitely want to get away from the crowds. Look at all these restaurants, beautiful restaurants that you can get a seat, you can relax, you can have a drink. Shows are still advertised, things are still going on, giraffes are still decorated. But crowds are not in your face, and I think that's an important thing to remember. Okay, here we go. Looks like the Stand Comedy Club has extended itself, and the Stand's got the New Town Theatre here. Lots of names, actually. Yeah, more of your bigger names, less fringe, less new acts, a bit more established acts on here. So definitely somewhere you want to think about coming if you maybe want to see someone a little bit more famous. And here we're coming up for Assembly on George Square. Now Assembly Hall is right here, and then on George Street, just in front of Assembly Hall, looks like they have a Spiegel tent set up for more shows as well. So rain back on again. Told you don't like the weather. Hang on 5 minutes, you won't like it even more. Ducked in a doorway to avoid the rain right now, but it's a good spot because we can see here. There's the Bon Vivant Spiegel tent here, as George Street has become essentially its own little beer garden here, right in the middle of George Street, right by a venue. The rain will probably stop in a second. It doesn't look like it's going to last long. I can see blue light over there, so it won't last long. And it looks like there's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. I haven't been. This is the thing. If you don't explore, you're going to miss out. As I always say, be brave. Be brave, my friends, and see what's about town. Now this is Assembly Hall, right beside all of this, right beside the George Street Gardens here, and there's so many venues for Assembly inside Assembly Hall. Lots of shows, lots of things going on. Looks like they've got some covered space for the box office and seating there as well. And there we go, there's countless venues in there. Lots of stuff going on, but let's go. I've not seen this end, so let's have a look down there. I'm not going into Assembly Hall anyway. I don't have any tickets for a show, so fish and chips, nothing wrong with that. And what's that? Make It Monkey. It must be a beer. That's nice. It's a nice big space. It's a nice big different bit to hang out here on George Street, because all the other ones at George Square, TV at Square, and all these things where Udderbelly and things are, they're always really busy. That one's got plenty of space, so you can get away from the crowds but still get the festival atmosphere. Look at that beautiful rainbow over St Andrew's Square as I'm standing here getting wet, and it's sunny at the same time. Not much I can do, so I may as well just keep going. You see here, there's another pop-up venue. Not sure what that is normally, but it's a venue now. Venue 431. And there's a nightclub that's turned into a venue as well. You see what I mean? If you stay in the old town, you're going to miss things. What's that over there as well? Fringe 111. There's a church that's now a venue. Old church. Actually, that's still possibly a working place. So I have to say, it is nice to be away from the crowds of the Royal Mile at this time of year, because it can get overwhelming, especially now we're hitting kind of the end of week 2, sort of week 3. Difficult to keep track sometimes. I'm sorry if there's rain on the lens, it's just continually raining right now. But around about now, fringe fatigue starts to set in, especially for a lot of the performers, and a lot of people are maybe here for the whole time. It's a lot in a short period of time. It's a lot going on in a month, and you can only do so much. The city starts to get tired. It gets a little burst of energy again as it's getting close to the end, but definitely now fringe fatigue setting in. Everyone's like, oh, there's so much going on, too much. It passes, don't worry, you get your second wind. So this is us at the end of George Street now. There's the Gothic Rocket itself, the Scott Monument. St Andrew's Square. I am going to take a quick nip in St Andrew's Square before we double back along Rose Street, just because it looks like there's something in the corner there, and I want to know what it is. I'm trying to hide the camera from the rain. It's a doubler. It's a doubler. We've got a double rainbow, ladies and gentlemen. Look how bright that one is. There is another one there as well. Can you see the double rainbow? So it looks like here. It looks like here in the corner there is a pop-up Fringe stage, probably for shows to be able to advertise themselves. So shows will come down, perform a little piece of their show, so you can sit, you can watch, and if you like it, you can go get a ticket for it and go watch it. It doesn't look like there's much else going on here in St Andrews Square. So what we're going to do now is head over and go along Rose Street, and hopefully it'll be sheltered from the rain, because that is getting wet. Okay, let's travel along Rose Street, see what we can find. Does that rain? Does that rain? Yeah, a little bit. I don't know how busy Rose Street will be with festival things, but you can still see it's quieter than the Royal Mile, so it's worth a visit. Not quite on Rose Street, just a little bit off. That first section of Rose Street had nothing on it, but here on what is it, Hanover Street, looks like that's become a music venue. Shame it's not a music venue more often, because Edinburgh is really struggling for them. There's the back end of the assembly rooms here, but essentially that's just a back entrance to where we were. If I go up there, that's going to take me straight to the George Street Assembly Beer Garden Spiegely tent bit that we saw earlier on. But honestly, I'm about halfway along Rose Street and I saw no venues, so this is interesting. It's interesting, especially if you want to get away from the venues, because look at all these nice places to eat and drink. It's not too busy. It's a nice day. The rain's been, but it's been and gone. That's me almost all the way to the end of Rose Street, and there's been no theatres. Beautiful restaurants and pubs to sit at, all of them with space. All of them, you know, not empty, all of them with people in them, but definitely has space and a little bit more comfortable and friendly. So I think for those of you thinking about coming to the Fringe but don't want overwhelmed, head into the new town. There are still things to do, and there's far more places to eat and relax that aren't overwhelming. However, just at the very end as we get down here, I know this is a venue because it's a theatre. This looks like the only actual venue on Rose Street Theatre, and again nice and chilled. Bars, restaurants and things beside it, lots of stuff on. Definitely if you want to get a little bit of the feeling of the Fringe but don't want to be overwhelmed with it, I think actually the new town is probably a better place for you to go. And did you know this? Ian McKellen is here in town. He's playing the Fringe. He's doing Hamlet here at the Fringe right now. Not only that, Alan Cumming is here as well. Alan Cummings is here doing shows as well. You never know who you're going to see. You never know who you're going to see at the Fringe. And I think we'll call it there. So that's us. Started at sort of Festival Square, Usher Hall, came down, Charlotte Square, nothing there. George Street, I mean a couple of bits, and obviously there was the George Street Assembly Garden plus Assembly Hall. Plenty that you probably get the proper feel of the Fringe there, and very easily take 10 steps and you're away from it, and you've got a lot of nice pubs and bars and restaurants. Rose Street, which has got so many different places and things to eat without being overwhelmed, without being too busy, and being able to just relax a little bit. And if you really want, you cross Princes Street and you're back in the heart of it all. I think for those of you that are going to be out there and you're needing a rest, you're here at the Fringe, you're starting to get Fringe fatigue, get out of the Royal Mile. Get away from the Royal Mile. Yes, it's great, it's powerful, it's exciting, but get down this side of town. There's so many other things to do around here, places to eat, things to see. And hopefully you can catch your breath for a little bit. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have, please remember, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to all my incredible patrons out there and all the new ones that have came along. If you're thinking of supporting and help the channel and allow me to keep doing the channel, please become a patron or think about it. It'd be amazing. If not, go check out the merch. Buy some merch. You know, you get cool water bottles. We've got cool water bottles now. They're awesome. Anyway, that's enough plugging. I hate plugging. But you can subscribe. Subscribing would be lovely. Stop plugging. Stop it. Bye, humans.